Interactive element. Interactive element is the features that we have within the digital platforms or our courses or program that engage users with the content in various ways. We have all those. That is just interactive element. It's just like when you are teaching in a school. You are teaching in a school, and for you to know whether your student or not understand or not, you are going to include interactive element. That's why in your new general mathematics, after you finish your SS was it SS after you are done element. Yes, we have the Uma bingo. That is number one interactive element. Talking about Uma bingo, I want to show us what's happening. Now, Uma bingo. When we talk about bingo, Uma bingo is one of the popular activities, like icebreaker activities that we can actually use to interact with our audience. For example, I have an example here, the one I did for some training is wash hands with soap and clean water before meals. Anyone that have this type of thing, they will join them together. It's just like you selecting in between people like that. So now talking about the human bingo, participants are given bingo cards. All what I listed here are going to be made into cards. They are going to be made into cards. You can see they are going to be made into cards with different attributes or characteristics in each square. So after then, participants will now find individuals that match what they have chosen or that match their descriptions. We can use it for both traditional and e-learning course like that. We have bingo. Now, Talking about this bingo, there are diverse platforms that we can actually use to create this bingo. I listed some platforms. Maker. That we have the my free bingo cards. My free bingo cards. You can see how it is. My free bingo cards can also be used for for quiz. Can also be used to create quiz like that. Now we also have bingo baker. Bingo baker. You can see just like the one that I showed you earlier that I created, bingo maker. But before you can make all these things here, you first of all add the you would have created the content that you will use. You can see woman bingo. So it's going to be made into cards. Then we have bingo baker. We have the flippity.net. It also can be used to create quiz, to create cards, to create puzzles, and some others. We also have bingo blitz. Bingo blitz. We have bingo blitz, and so let's move on. What is number two interactive element that we have? We have the quiz and assessment. Quiz and assessment. Quiz and assessment. Now, when we are talking about quiz and assessment, it's just like what we have in our traditional school like that. You create quiz so that others will be able to you'll be able to assess their knowledge, know where they are lagging behind, know where they are lagging behind, know where to improve on, and so on. So where can we create our quizzes and assessment? We can use type form. We can use type form. This is type form. You sign up with their platform. After you have created the quiz, for example, I I have some quiz here. Let me check if it is still here. Okay, this is a different interactive element, but this is an example of what I am trying to say. Now, talking about quiz, we have the multiple choice questions for quiz. It can be multiple. Talking about multiple, that's where you have option A, option B, option C, option D, and option E. So you have it like that. You can also have matching exercise. For example, if you are creating children course, like matching exercise, you drawing an animal and you write the name in a different place. So they are going to match everything together. So that is matching exercise. And also we have the other interactive elements like filling the gaps and some that. Like where we so we have some others here. and so on before we now have the bingo. So now, what are the platforms that can be used to create the quiz and assessment? I mentioned Typeform. Typeform, you can start from scratch. You can import the questions you have created. You understand now? You can import it, the question. And on this platform, there are templates to use. You can use templates. Now, for example, what happened to my network? Okay. I'll click on that. Though Typeform has both free and paid. It has both free and paid. So you can actually design your quizzes using this Typeform. After you are done, you will now integrate it with any platform the buyer is using to distribute his or her course. So the network is a bit slow, but we will be moving forward. Now, I think that's load. Now it's not loading. The network is not going through from my end. So because of our time, let's move on. We have this here. Another platform we can use is this Quizizz. Quizizz.com. You can quizizz.com. Please, the spellings, if you cannot. Oh, sorry. Can you hear now? Can you all hear? Somebody is saying that he's not able to hear
Yes, we
me.
can hear you now.
Please, can you all hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you again now.
Okay, sorry,
Yes.
the network is not going through. I'm sorry, the network was disrupted. But are we clear now? Can you all hear me back?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
If you can hear me, kindly signify. Okay, thank you. So let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, thank you. Now, what I was trying to explain is this is the interactive element. Now, I said that we can actually use quizzes.com. Quizzes.com. You can see this quizzes.com to create the whenever you have um assignment, like the platform. When you sign up to the platform, you can continue with your Google, or you input your email. You can just continue like that. So you can see I plan to use quizzes for, if it is for school, if it is for work or personal use, you can just choose. But let's choose school. Instructional we are going for, and you can just choose teamwork. Instructional coach. But in your own case, you can just list everything. I'm just trying to. Okay. Now, after we now have this our page, then the next thing is for us to create. You create. You can as well search for English or any topic. You can just create. You can see add fun interactive slide to assessment that students already love. Now you can see it's showing some other things, showing whiteboard and some other things. And if it is quiz, you can just click on it. Create from scratch, generate from text. You can use AI, upload a document. Assuming we have created our quiz. Now let's just upload a document by using this thing that we have done. We have created one lesson like that. This is our lesson, the lesson we have here the other time. Now, if you want to create quiz for this, now how do you go about it? You can just write it. Now, assuming we want to create the interactive element now from this, though this thing might not contain it, so we are just going to do this. Let's clear everything. Now, this is for our quiz now. It's still loading. Please, if you do not get it, let me know. We have for quiz 5, quiz 6 to 10. Now we have this now. Now, assuming we have created our quiz, though at times we need to sit ourselves down and create all these quizzes by ourselves, because at times all what AI will give you will not be right. So you need to sit down, generate questions from all these things. If it's because there is not enough time, I would have I would have generated some questions here without using AI, but because of our time, now we are now going to input it to one of the documents. Sorry. Let's just input it. Let's input it and save. Now you can see the options. You can just list it, put the options there, the options there. With the right answer, life. Now, same thing with the others. Same thing with others. Same thing with others. Same thing with this. Please, if you are not getting it, signify. If you are missing anything, you can just signify. Okay.
Could you please help us to send the prompt in the group so that we can check it as
All right. I will do that. I will do that. And we will also get the recording. I believe it's being recorded.
okay, sir.
So, but I will still send the prompt. Now we have we have all this. Now let's now save it. Let's save it. Quiz one. Now we have saved that. Now what are we now going to do? Head over to where we have this. Now it says upload the document. You can just upload our document. True. Oh my god. Our network is a let's create from scratch. Creating from scratch lead us here again. We are going to okay. As if it's going now. Now you can see create a new quiz. Now if I thought it is grade that you are writing for, you can just choose this. If it is university, if it is professional course, you can just choose like that. Now If you are having any subject for that, you can just choose. But in this case, we do not have course. So you can just choose instructional. Now, number of questions that you want, we want to create for 10. In what language? In English. Now, it brought some things. Now it says initiative for purpose and some other things like that. Now you can just click on this, my library. Library. Let's check. um, Now, all what is here now, we don't have anything that pertains to what we are having. Now, it says no quiz for lesson fund. No quiz for lesson fund. Now, let's create our thing from here. Now, the question we'll be having, that is where we now be inputting our questions one after the other like this. Now, this is it. Type answers options. Answers option. The option one will be here. It's because we are not able to upload it. That's why we are going through all this. Option one. Let me just copy everything. So after this, then we move to the next. Have the next one. Have the next. Life is the correct answer. Please, are we still together? I got a message from the group that um okay. Now move on. So we have this here. Single correct answer. We are now going to mark the correct answer. This is the correct answer. You mark it. Now, after then you click on save. This is save. You click on save. You can see it has saved the first one. Now, you can see now, this is our question one. The same thing, we are going to add the question for the question two, question three, question four, up to 10. But let's do one more. Add question. If it is fill in the blank that you have, we are going to input it. We are going to pick it here. Are we getting it now? We are going to pick it here. All this one that is like this, it is paid something. We are going to pay for all these one that have this is important. Now, the other ones, but I believe we understood how I created the first multiple choice question. Now, the right question is there. Now, if you give this link, if you publish it now, okay, let's try to publish it. Now, name quiz. We are going to give names to everything and add cover image. Assuming we have it now. Professional. Now we have it. We don't have cover page. Let's just put. Now we have published this. We can start. Where is it? Yeah, don't worry. Now that is the platform we can actually use. We have some other platforms that we can use to create our quiz. Don't forget, I made mention of Typeform the other time, but our Typeform did not load due to the network or service. So, what are the other interactive elements that we have? I have mentioned bingo, human bingo. I have mentioned quiz. Now the next one is simulations. 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 Simulation is just like to replicate real life scenario. Real life scenario, like something that is happening in real life. What can we use to create simulations? If it is simulation course like that, you can use articulate story 9 for simulations. I have one example of this articulate story lines on it. Simulize. Simulize.com, from the word simulation. You can see. Go to English. So you can just log in and do some other things like that. So we have it like that. So because of our time, let's move fast. Now another interactive element that we have is games. Games from gamified. We have game elements like that. Like I opened something here the other time, the one I was showing us. I have game in this course too. There are games. Let me see if I can see it. Um, there are games. Yes, this is game. You can see game, example of game now. The title is hygiene relay race. Hygiene relay race. Hygiene relay race. Now, if you are creating course and then the course is like a training, you can just activity game for this one that we've done. How do we do that? Let's do it. For this one, just the same way we created the quiz, that is the same way we are going to create for that. Now, instead of quizzes, we are just going to say for lesson one. Now, look at this now. Activity game. Goal alignment maze. Now, we have our instructions. Now, this is it now for the game. Now, this is for the game. The title of the game title is Go. That's an example of interactive element that we can use. Go alignment maze. So for your go, you can just use this instruction. Go alignment maze and so on. We have the objective. So the objective of this game is to help players understand the importance of alignment, align their goal with their life purpose by navigating a maze obstacle. Now, even you can create it in your house like this and just add it. It's for everybody actually for the game. So you can see, just format it properly. As you format it properly, after you have formatted it, then you're going to do it. Now, these are the instructions for the game. So after you are done with the instructions, then you give it to the audience. They'll be able to do it. But this one, you can actually do it for physical. That 3 days ago, I made mention of online. I made mention of the one that is in between, that contains both the online and traditional together. If it is something like that, you can actually make use of simulation. Then, games. So games, gamified element are turn learning into a game, incorporating challenges. You can actually involve rewards after the game. For example, like the one I was showing you, after I finished creating the course, I actually created raffle draw tickets for each of the participants at that time. So it's important to actually understand this. Then the next interactive element is interactive ebooks or learning modules. Interactive ebooks or learning modules. I opened one ebook here. I will show us. I open one ebook here. This is an interactive ebooks or learning module. You can see how this ebook look like. When you click on,
By the time I tell you that this thing happened to me, I
please
think that's
unmute
better.
your mic.
I can't do beyond that. I pray with you.
Now we can see here interactive. Inside the interactive, you will have videos embedded into it. You will have videos, you will have quizzes embedded into it. Now, this is one video. If you click on it, if you click on it, it will take us to where we have. Now, this is the video. So, don't need that. Take us back to where we are coming from. Oh my God. So, we have our ebook back. Where are you open up? Ebook 5. Let me just check it from this side. Now, we are talking about ebook, interactive ebooks, or learning modules. The document is, yes. Now, we have it here. You can see how it is. And in it, there are videos. And it's not loading. Now, this is where we clicked earlier that took us to that page. Also, we have so many interactive images, quizzes, and steps. You can see we have steps here. You can see stages. These are part of the interactive that I'm talking about. So when we talk about interactive ebooks or learning modules, it's a digital books or modules that include interactive elements like clickable content. Like look at this now, it is clickable. It can actually take us to where we are going to take quiz or read more or do any other things inside this content. So the quiz that I created earlier, I can actually embed it inside this content here. So when you write the course and you have a quiz that you have created like that, you can actually embed the link inside the content. Maybe after the module 1, you can just write click on this link to take the quizzes for this lesson. So when they click on the link or when they click on that thing that you made mention of, it will take them to where we are having the quiz. So because of our time, let's just move fast. Now, I did not mention the platform you can use for that other one. For games, you can use Unity, unity.com. Sorry, it escaped me the other time. I did not make mention of it. You can use Unity, unity.com. You can use Unity. This is Unity for game. For games, you can use Unity. You can also use construct.net. Yes, construct.net. Yes, you can use construct.net. This is construct.net. You can use it. You can make games. Whatever games you want to make, you can just make it using this construct.net. Then you can also use Twinery. You can use twinery.org. Because all these platforms, if your clients are willing to, what's that? Twinery. Yes. You can see what is there. It's an open source tool for telling interactive, non-linear story. So you can just do that. You can explore it at the end of this class. Just go and explore all these things that I have made mention of. And just use that so that because of our time, let's just be fast and move on. So for the ebooks that I made mention of, you can make use of book widgets, book widgets, book widgets.com. Bookwidgets.com, bookwidget.com, and you can make use of Genially. You can see what is here. Create your own interactive exercises and auto-graded assignments in minutes. So all these platforms I made mention of are not really free, but you can just explore them on your own. So we have genia.ly. I have created the interactive quiz. I've also created the games that we can actually use. So after the Genia, we have adapt learning. We are still under the interactive ebook or Moodle. We have the adaptlearning.org for that. .org. The Genia has opened. So we have this. Now you are going to sign up. You can see build interactive and gamified experience. Gamified experience, just like the game that I made mention of earlier, can actually use this platform to do that. But the adapt learning is not opening. So it has opened. It's loading. Now you can see welcome to Adept Learning. Adept is a free and easy to use e-learning authoring tools that creates fully responsive multi-device. You can see e-learning authoring tools. Just like I made mention earlier, those e-learning authoring tools like the Adobe Storyline that I made mention of earlier. So this one too, you can also use it and explore it. You just go and explore it. The one that you are easy to navigate, you can just be using it and be running your service and be rendering it as what you can actually do like that. So now after then, don't forget those are the interactive elements. But after the interactive element, we also have interactive activities and exercise. That's where we have workbook, we have the worksheet, we have the crossword, and we have puzzle, and we have puzzle. So all these are what we can actually.
Could you please help us list those things again?
Okay, for
The
the
interactive
activities
activities and
and
exercise.
exercise. Okay,
Yes.
the number one is workbook. Workbook. When we talk about workbook is a collection of exercise that learners can complete to reinforce their understanding of the learning materials. For example, if you read this book, um 360 degree of leader, 360 degree of leaders, when you are before the might one, might two, might three, and so on, there is a place there. It talks about workbook. It talks about the students or the readers to go and fill the workbook so that they will know one or two things about themselves. It will give them answers. It as if it includes one code like that. We can check it in our leisure time if you have the book, the 360 degree of leader. I think I have it on my phone. I will share it to the group so that we will all have access access to it. So when we now talk about this thing, I made mention of workbook. Workbook. Then the next one is the worksheet. We have worksheet. Sorry, I want to send the um for that PDF. I want to send it so that we able to access it. I sent it to the group already. It's loading. When it loads, we all get it. Now that is the 360 degree of leadership. You can actually go through it. You will see where it talks about the workbook and some other things like that. So the workbook, you can actually use it to do some other things like that. Now, after the worksheet, we now have crossword. 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 After crossword, then we now have puzzle. So let's go and work on that. So before we round it up, in the interactive element, we also have interactive infographics or visualization. It's part of it, but I omitted it. Sorry about that. We have interactive infographics or visualizations. That is where we now have Canva as the tool that we can use, as the tool which we can actually use. I shown us one Canva design 3 days ago. It is interactive visualization elements. So I shown us that the content would have been created. After it has been created, then we are going to make it into Canva, on Canva rather. So we design it on Canva as our visualized content. You can see, let me try to open it again. Let me try opening it again so that you'll be able to see that. Be able to see that. Let me try to open it. So, let me try to open it. If I can still lay my hands on it. So it is part of the interactive